little Foxy, it's your birthday. Not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
Good evening and welcome to our June edition of Moana Nui After Dark presents Whatcha Watchin. Welcome panelists, ladies. How are you all doing?
Doing great.
Peachy.
We are missing. Why is there a box empty? Where did she go?
Yeah, where did she go?
It's only been a minute.
Yeah, she did disappear during the intro. She's like a kid on the internet. She's gone.
Right. Because I could have sworn there was 4 of us here. Well, until she gets back.
How have you been, James?
I'm good. You know, it's Wednesday. I always look forward to when I know it's crazy for me to hear someone say this. I always look forward to Wednesday during the week because I don't work on Wednesdays.
That's what's up.
So yeah, there she is. Are we good?
We're good. I ran down to get the other shows that I was watching.
Oh my God. We will get to shenanigans later. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get into our feature discussion for the evening.
Yes.
Which is, if I can find the proper banner here. The official title of the film is From the World of John Wick, Ballerina.
I did not know it had that long title.
Yeah, it really did. That is the actual official title. Or as I like to call it, Don't Bring a Gun to a Grenade Fight.
Yes. Yes.
If you know, you know. And if you don't,
you need to.
Spoilers.
10.
As always.
Yeah, you're about to be spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. So as I brought up that title, I want to start there because who knew you could use grenades in so many interesting and fascinating ways in a gunfight?
That was the best thing about this movie, in my opinion. Because we've seen John Wick do everything you can do with a gun. We've seen him fall down the stairs for 15 minutes. Like we've seen him do everything and break bones and fall off an ice building and palace club, all this kind of nonsense. What could they have possibly done with a new character that he hadn't already done? And the answer is grenades. She was throwing grenades at people like it was paintball. Every explosion was boom,
dodgeball.
Yeah.
I am actually surprised that she did not walk out of half those fights with concussion. Because of how close she was to some of those explosions going off. I mean, the one where she had the grenade belt around dude's neck and fell over a table. She was right there. I mean, granted, his head flew off, but still, the sound of the explosion should have at least knocked her unconscious a little bit.
And it's just amazing that it didn't. I'm like, dude, you should have. It should have knocked your ass out. You should have been out completely. But
but I love the way they pulled it off. Like, because it starts with she's out of bullets. You know, she's running for her life or whatever, and there's nothing here but this belt of grenades. Well, we were using grenades then. And I thought she would throw one and keep running. No, these are her bullets.
Right. She stuck around. Like, I'm here for the long haul. These people came to kill me. Time to blow y'all up.
Yep.
But that's strange as hell. It's like it's the whole town. She didn't. It's just like, I'm like,
I mean, the town later was just insane, but every single fight up to that point, yeah.
You know, it's like it was just him. I'm not here to hurt you. Trying to leave, and then the lady just wants to.
Now everybody got to get some. You know, we didn't have to do it this way. Y'all could have pretended to continue. And one thing I didn't understand was the purpose of the town, because they're not training for. They're all trained, but they're not training for anything other than defend this inbred town. And I guess they needed her in the first place all those years ago to be fresh blood, I guess, or
the children. You saw the children playing in the wherever the playground, and then when they went into the school, you saw all of the body armor things that you shoot at. So you saw all of those. It's just that's their own fraction and they keep to themselves, but they still go out and do whatever, they're what do you call them? Hired guns.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, she is a direct descendant of the current leader of said group.
Yeah.
Like that's her grandfather.
Yeah, because it's a cult.
Right. And you're not supposed to leave. And so apparently, because the premise before the main events take place is that she's a kid with her dad, and the mom we assume is dead. The sister we presume dead, but we later find out was alive, was taken back. So at some point, the parents tried to get both girls out because they didn't want to raise them in that life. They wanted them to have normal lives, which is the thing in this world of John Wick. There are all these sects of assassins and hired killers and these different groups. And eventually someone always wants to get out and they can't, but then they start a family and it's like, oh, I need to get my family out.
Right. Let me go and kill a bunch of people and sacrifice myself maybe to get my, you know what? You could have went to college. If you wanted a regular life.
I'm not. If they weren't conscripted into this life of, I won't say crime, but this life of violence, if you will.
Right. And I'm saying, I'm not condoning this for Black Widow because it is cruel and they didn't have a choice. Right. But I do understand the idea. If you are a consenting adult of you wanted this life, if you want to be in this life of crime and everything, in this life of assassination, that you don't or remove the ability to have children, but let consenting adults do that. Don't do it to kids, Right. But, and goes for the guys too. They should be getting vasectomies out here, just snip.
Now, that's not the way the world works. Even in fantasy, they ain't doing that.
Man, men's unhealthy attachment to their genitals is just ruining the world. In so many ways.
I agree.
Okay, so when was this movie made? Because when I saw my boy, I stood up in the theater like, what the hell?
So the majority of the film takes place in the background of the third John Wick film before the events of the fourth film. Mm-hmm. So that's
when he goes to see the head lady of the ballerina troupe or whatever.
Okay, so it's been sitting for a while. It's been sitting on a shelf for a while.
No, they did make this movie. This is the last movie made, but they tied it into the background because it's in that world of John Wick.
And since he hypothetically died in the fourth movie, they pushed it back to the third movie. So if they want to bring him back as another mentor type thing later on, he's still available for the world of John Wick, where he's not necessarily fighting. He's just, being Yoda.
No, the black guy, that's the one I'm talking about.
Lance Reddick.
Him. There's like how long, I was trying to remember how long he actually had passed.
Like a year ago?
He did pass a year ago.
It's like, so they filmed all of his scenes. It's like, how long has this movie been sitting on the shelves by the time it came out? From when
he died 2 years ago, March.
And now I know they had started filming some of this, and there could be some recycled scenes that they use in certain places. Yeah. And then let's not forget body doubles and CGI. Like they did for Sinners and put his head on somebody else's body. Yeah. All of that's possible.
So
but they did it in an honorable way. It's not like they, messed him up or anything.
No, it was good. I was like,
I know.
Like, oh my God! It's like I miss you.
So,
but the Russians just remind me of Black Widows.
Yeah,
just it's just making them making Russian widows. That's basically what you're making.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we do see Winston early on, though perplexing because Winston could have actually pushed her to the normal life her father wanted for her.
Mm-hmm.
But gave her the choice of, we can turn you free into the system, or you can stay here with this nice woman in this ballerina troupe and they'll take care of you and look out for you.
That was a trick.
Right. Because, it's like, here's a choice that's not really a choice. We know you're still full of rage because you just watched your daddy die.
Now, about that, because you're right, you had a point. He could have put her in some sort of like witness protection type thing where change her name, change some stuff about her and nobody ever find her. But they were going to be looking for her because they knew she was alive. They were going to find her at some point, right? So maybe his idea was give it to the ballerinas and at least she'll be able to protect herself from, Russian mob type folks. That's just my thought.
True. Because I just...
Because you don't want a bunch of Russians running up on your middle school, during junior prom and snatch you up.
And not knowing why, because you fit the description of someone we haven't seen in decades.
Right.
So, yeah. So she grows up pretty much the same place where John Wick grew up because, he got out too until someone shot his dog. We already know those events. And it's weird because that sequence when he's walking through and everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's him, it's Baba Yaga, it's him. And they're like, peeking around and, if you've seen part 3, you know where this takes place, when he's basically like cashing his chip because he's looking for safe passage because he's trying to get to the high table at this point. And, she sees him, but she can't really interact with him because he's like guarded and being walked off. It's like, he's a story, a myth, if you will, come true because now they're actually seeing him. Like everyone there has heard the stories, and to see him is like the boogeyman come to life. Like, oh, that's him. And you see kind of like as he's walking past, not just the ballerina, but other characters, like it's almost a look of, that's the guy. He don't look like much.
Yeah,
type thing, right? That was I the only one that caught that from the other characters?
No, but that's what it's like. It's like he's only a man. It's like, no, he's like, but that's John Wick. And then the girl is like, he's just a man. And then your ass got killed. He's just a man.
Yeah, just a man. I'm sure you're a man. John Wick will kill you. He's worse than your boy from Taken. Like, no, that dude ain't got nothing on him.
Right.
But
and I don't have much to say because it was 2 weeks ago I saw the movie, and y'all know how my mind is.
Nah, Teresa's supposed to be fresh in your head. Instant recall. Come on, bring it back. Bring it back.
I need it for you so that you can get it refreshed again.
The only thing I'm sure of is that I saw it.
Oh gosh. So our ballerina gets her first assignment, which I think was perfect for her because the people who trained her knew that there was some timidness in her and they were trying to like get that out of her. So here's like, here's an easy assignment. Protect the daughter of one of our,
clients,
associates, clients, whatever, from his rival. To which he does a pretty decent job. Not perfect, but no well-laid plan survives first contact of battle. Type thing.
She got her out though, it worked. That was when she saw the thing on the arm that let her know
and freaked her out and like, oh, what the hell is this? And hey, bring it back. You're supposed to be protecting this chick. Like, can't be fading out. We know you're having a flashback, but still 4 other dudes around here trying to kidnap her.
And I want to talk about that real quick. You in a secret society, right? Where that mark shows that you are a certain type of person. Why is it just out for everybody to see all the time? Like when she first saw it, when they were killing her dad at the beginning of the movie, why is that visible? And then to see it again, if you got a special secret mark, that needs put some tape on it, a glove, a wrist cuff or something, cover it up, Band-Aid, something, so people can't identify you because that leads to your whole group.
But everyone assumes they're good enough to handle their response. No one in this world thinks they're going to be taken out by anybody else.
But they failed for years because they failed when she first lived. And then 10 to 20 years later, you failing again. You failed all over the place. You should maybe cover that up. That is the classic villain hubris of I can take you. No, you can't.
Of that island. Wasn't that an island? The castle, everything.
No, I thought it was a mountain area.
Right by the water. Wasn't that like a
beachfront property, more or less, but
because they came out of the water.
He was able to get her to a shoreline of wherever they were before, because when Winston comes, she's already in the police station. So considering the house blew up, since he had a bomb to the gas line, kind of hard for authorities to miss. So even if it was like a secluded island off a mainland, it wasn't that far off a mainland.
That it would bring help. Okay,
right.
That's what she.
Because authorities see an explosion, is like, oh, maybe we should check that out.
You know what I also liked about the fighting style in this movie, aside from the grenades, was that even early on, you see that they are not. I'm thinking they even talk about that. You're never going to win a fight on brute strength because you little girl, muscles never going to be there. Even if you're lithe and flexible and trained, you still weigh
fight
one
like a girl.
Right. She was trying to have a fair fight.
Like a girl.
Yeah.
And so gouge their eyes out, kick them in the balls, like fight dirty. Yes, because that's what you should do. And then that leads, in my opinion, to the grenades, right? Because I'm gonna use whatever's around me. Oh, belt full of grenades. I can kill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 people with these. All right.
And that's just like John. Whatever was around him, he grabbed and made it a weapon. That's what they taught them.
I will staple you to death.
She can kill large people with those because she can fight them.
Right. So you find another way. Yeah. She brought a grenade to a gunfight.
they brought a gun to a grenade fight.
Yes, that's what it was.
Gun to a grenade. That's what they did. They didn't realize this is a grenade fight. You brought the wrong weapon.
Because who thinks that she gonna throw grenades? Oh, she clearly don't have no more. She still got more grenades. Like how many?
I mean, hello, she was in the armory. Y'all don't. I'm like, I would be running.
And that was the dumb part.
Why was that open? Like how they security is trash.
Well, no, so that armory fight.
Who's gonna come into your town and go into the armory?
Her,
right?
Weren't they training her for that very thing? That again, that's the arrogance. We're gonna train her to look for all these things and then leave our security open because she wouldn't come back to fight us, even though we killed her daddy in front of her. What were you thinking?
What really set it off, of course, then later on they kill her sister because grandpa's like, fuck it, kill them both.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you don't know that she could have talked her into coming back or talked her down or whatever.
But his mindset was probably that goes both ways. One of them was going to talk the other into the other side.
That was probably more likely, honestly. Because I don't think the sister that got stuck, because she was like, y'all left me, like she got stuck behind. I don't think she wanted to be there either.
Right. And you can see her wavering before she got taken out. Like, I don't want to kill you. Like, I just found you. Like, I'm not killing you.
How you been?
I thought you were dead. Like, I thought y'all just left me behind because, like, no. Like neither one of them knows what happened because their parents are both dead now. The truth, as far as what they should know, because the only thing we have is that their father, when the younger daughter was a child before the crew came to get him, he was like, I wish we could have saved your sister, which is very ambiguous because we don't know the sister alive, dead, this an older sister, younger sister. Like we don't know. We know she got a sibling.
Yeah, he said you look so much like your sister.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, okay, now there's a sister. Where's she at? How much older? Where's she, and why is she not in the scene? And now we know because she out there, learning to be a mercenary with granddad. That's just weird.
Was it the mother who was his daughter?
Yes.
Okay, and then her brother also ran off. So that little girl was her cousin. Which
little girl? What do you mean?
The little girl that was taken back.
That she was trying to protect.
No, that was that was Norman Reedus' daughter. She was trying to get her out because he was leaving. He was trying to get out.
He was a son.
Yeah, he was the son. He was the son.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So that was her brother. So that makes them cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah.
With whoever her mama was, because her mom was clearly one of us.
But yeah, mom was trying to get out. Well, mom died trying to get them out. So, but yeah, and Norman Reedus, I wasn't expecting to see him in this film at all. I'm not gonna say pleasant surprise, but definitely a surprise for what little bit he was in there, and
not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Or funny, stupid.
Exactly.
He wasn't a comic relief.
Yeah, not a
He
comic
wasn't a bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually a good guy trying to protect his daughter. That
And he was actually trying to tell her what was going on, but of course there was no time to do that because they're in a continental hotel, and as always, there is not to be any killing on continental ground.
She didn't. She did not,
and she did not kill anybody. She basically subdued people.
Which was genius because she looked like she was killing them.
Now, Alan Tudyk, being the concierge of the hotel that everything was popping off in, that was hilarious to me. I'm sorry. I chuckled when I saw him in that role.
I love him.
What did she say to her? Them I didn't hurt you. She's like, you fucking broke my mouth. She's like, well, you're still talking.
You're still talking, right? Broke my nose, and you still breathe.
Yeah, you're still breathing.
I didn't kill anybody. They did the killing. I did not kill anyone. It wasn't me.
I'm with them.
Do it. Pop both of them. It's like, please collect your stuff and leave the premises. Okay. I'm packing shit and go. But yeah, and then of course that's when the little girl Norma Reedus' daughter gets taken, and she goes looking for. Well, first she needs information, so that takes her back to Winston, who, after a decade or so of not seeing her, instantly recognizes who she is and is like, information I can't give you because your patron mother told me not to, and does it anyway.
Yeah, just like how he helped John. It's like, oh, I can't help you, and then gives him a napkin. Here you go.
If you haven't seen the miniseries, The Continental, on Peacock,
which is what I kept telling Furious, you need to watch fucking Continental. It makes sense.
I do highly suggest watching The Continental because
you get so good.
A lot of how Winston came to be how he is. Like Winston always serves his own best interests.
Yeah, I was gonna say Winston serves Winston.
Right.
And he found a way to make an oasis. He's Switzerland. He found a way to make a safe haven for himself and other like-minded people to stay out of everybody else's way and have them not come for him. That's brilliant.
Which is why he has such a good rapport with John, even though he betrayed John in the third film.
But I mean, he told him he was gonna do it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, like 2 seconds before he shot him. Yeah.
Nah, I gotta shoot you, right? I can't have this, bro. All right, pop. Good luck, bro. I'm going back in the house.
I mean, they pretty much told him right there, like, we will give you your consecration status back if you kill John Wick. Hey, John, no hard feelings, Pop.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, John's bulletproof anyway. I love that he hides from bullets like this with the bulletproof jacket.
Yeah, the suit is Kevlar mesh, whatever fabric they use. And I'm glad they finally went to that in the third film because again, this is where a lot of it takes place. So you would have need to have seen the third John Wick film to get a lot of what was happening with the ballerina at the time. But
if you're going to see Ballerina, you've seen all the John Wick movies for the most part.
You should have seen all the John Wick films.
Teresa.
Teresa, what have you not seen?
What have you seen?
I have not seen a John Wick movie, period.
Not even the first one? To why he became
you
John
know
Wick?
About the dog?
I know about the dog because the dog is like folklore. Everybody knows about the dog.
But it's not just the dog, it's the car. It's the car too.
I've never seen a John Wick movie.
Oh my God.
Well, they're all like free on Amazon and Netflix now. So if you get bored, you should watch one of them. They're pretty good.
You should definitely.
The first one is great.
So much to watch already.
But look, unlike anime, this is all in English, no subtitles.
And they only take an hour or two to watch each.
Yeah, it just wasn't on my radar. And I still enjoyed. I mean, Ballerina was a good standalone movie.
Yeah.
And I know who John Wick is, so I knew enough to follow that part, but no.
Yeah. Well, if you did, then you would have understood the Russians and how they came into play.
Well, yeah, I would have understood the background, but I mean,
Right.
I completely understood the plot of
No,
it.
yeah, this film does stand alone. If you've seen the others, it helps with a lot of the background of what's happening. But as far as the main plot and premise of everything taking place, the previous 4 films are not necessary. They're helpful, but they're not necessary.
I like the fighting. Like she can fight, still get hurt, but still strong enough to fight. Yeah. And the only person that she couldn't beat was John.
Right. And so she
negotiated everybody else's ass. But the only person that you could destroy the whole damn town. But yet John could have killed you for how many times? 5, 6 times? That he did not kill you.
But I mean, it does set up a good precedent because the implication is she is almost as good as John, and she's only alive because he let her live. So there is no you don't defeat the boogeyman. He lets you live. And you know what else? His own little moral code, like you got 6 minutes before I come back and kill you. And then she made it.
Not to mention his path at that point was somewhat similar to hers.
Yeah, he was trying to get out.
He was on a deadline to do something. He gave her a deadline. And like, I understand where you're coming from. Like, they killed your family. I know what that's like.
I also like when the dude, the grandfather, whatever, realized that the ballerina troupe had turned on him. They're like, yeah, this will be over by midnight. What do you mean? I mean, it'll be over. So bye.
One way or the other.
Yep.
Either you gonna be dead, she gonna be dead, somebody gonna be dead by midnight.
Right. It's probably gonna be you. And it was.
So because that little truce they came to, like, hey, if all this is wrapped up by midnight, we good.
Yep.
And it was all wrapped up by midnight. So we good.
Yep. Contract is over because the client died. So spoiler. Bad guy dies.
Who put the contract on her?
The survivors of the town. Which is why she had to bounce from where she was at the end of the film.
Which was her friend, because I was like, oh my God, they killed the girl. But that's not what they do. They didn't kill her. She became she was the ballerina she was watching at the end because she was good at dancing, but she wasn't good at killing. So
because I was wondering what happened to her as well, because they left that up in the air. I'm like, well, did they wash her out? And by wash out, I mean,
no, but when she looked up and saw the picture, her picture was on the
marquee.
Poster, the marquee at the top. And then when she was watching her, it was like, okay, that's what happened to her. Like, okay.
And clearly setting up for another potential movie. I would watch another movie with her in it.
Absolutely,
I would.
Yeah.
So we're 29 minutes in. We have talked about the ballerina, and now I think we've reached a point where we get to the TV movie roundup, where everybody talks about other things that they are watching. And so, who would like to go first with here's what I'm watching?
Anybody did the Marvel Riri?
Yes.
I
did watch the first 3 episodes of Riri last night, as soon as, because I was looking forward midday, like, oh yeah, it's Tuesday. I'm bored working. Let me pull up Riri on my tablet and watch Ironheart, and like, oh, it's not out yet. Like,
no, it came out at what, like
one of those 8 o'clock drops.
8 o'clock.
Came on at 9.
Even better, which is perfect because as soon as we ended last night's show,
we went and watched them. Yeah,
I went and watched all 3 episodes. I was up till like 12:30.
Yeah, I went to bed at 11:30. I had to let that last episode go. So I'll watch that later on today. But I did see the first 2, and I can see how it's going. I think it's a good series so far.
I saw the first one. I just finished the first one before I came to here. I was like, okay, I'll finish the next 2 after this show. So yeah, I don't understand. It just fucking
you know what it is.
I just, snowflakes make me sick.
To expand on what's happening right now, this show, which is actually really good, and I'm the one that, like, even if it's a bunch of Black people, if it's not good, I'll be like, it's trash. Looking at you, right. Anyway, it's not. It's a good show, and it's being review bombed on IMDb because it centers a Black woman who is smarter than Tony Stark, and people are losing their mind about it because it gives lie to the whole idea of white supremacy when the smartest person in the world is a little Black girl in Chicago.
Oh yeah, let me break their fragile egos even more. Spoiler for those who don't read comic books. A few issues into Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, they actually tell who the top 10 smartest people on the planet Earth in the Marvel universe are. Understand that of the top 10, everyone's favorites of Hank Pym and Reed Richards and Tony Stark are in the bottom 5 or the bottom half of that top 10. The top 5 are Riri, Shuri, and Lunella Lafayette. And Lunella's number 1, and it's not close. So
I mean, she did create an interdimensional portal.
Yeah.
So that was established in Moon Girl, and that's canon. So your top 3 smartest people on the planet are 3 Black women.
Right.
Deal with it.
And the whole thing is canon. And I put on Facebook that I'm probably gonna be out of most of my Marvel fan groups by the end of the day because they're just being assholes. You know, that's the only.
They're not real Marvel fans. They're not.
The bottom line, because I keep going into these conversations like, why are you surprised? And why are you saying that she's replacing Tony? Why? What is fucking canon? It's right out of the goddamn comic books.
And that's the thing is like, you got all of
woke,
these
because woke, y'all just made up the definition for woke. This stuff is
woke, DEI, and the N-word all have the same definition.
Same meaning, yes.
I don't like Black people, right? According to them, but a lot of people will read Thor until it gets to Thor being a woman. Then they'll read all the Marvel, all the Iron Man, everything else, and then they'll stop at Ironheart, and then they won't read Black Panther. They have no idea how good those Black Panther runs are because they don't want to hear about it. And then when they think about how long it's been, 17 years since the first Iron Man movie, they had a long run of just white heroes for the most part.
And they were okay with that. They're okay with that.
And then Eternals wasn't really a good movie, but people were like, oh, this, I didn't like it. Oh, but people like, oh, it's so woke, blah, 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 because it didn't have a white man as the hero in the center. Anything that doesn't have that. Captain Marvel. I liked it. I really liked Captain Marvel. And they had a problem with that. The Marvels itself, they had a problem with that. Miss Marvel, they had a problem. Photon, they had a problem with anybody that doesn't look exactly like them.
That's not a straight white man.
Yes. And I think it's because they lack imagination. We grew up having to see people that didn't look like us and imagine what we might be like in that moment and appreciate the story, appreciate the character development. I used to empathize with Luke Skywalker, can't really get it right. All of that. He didn't look like me, but when we put up someone that doesn't look like them, they cannot imagine anything more. And that's why they hate it so much because this isn't right.
They're so used to being centered.
And it didn't even matter because Elphaba was green and they were still upset that a black woman was playing a green character.
And then they called Wicked woke, and I'm like, yeah, because that book is like 20 years old at this point, and the book itself really speaks to oppressing or suppressing minority voices, like the animals, capital A versus little. When I first saw that, when you had animals and you had capital A animals, I was like, this is like the conversation around lowercase black and uppercase black. It's the same thing. And then getting rid of people showing up dead, people missing, losing their voice. All of that has been there this whole time. And they didn't pay attention to it because they just liked the popular song. They would go see the play and listen to popular, and they would see a white woman and another white woman in green. But now you have a white woman and a black woman in green, and all of a sudden, everything takes on a different tinge to it. No pun intended, because now you see the parallels and you don't want to, and now they've ruined your play. but the play was a light version of the book in the first place. If y'all would read
read the book, y'all have been fucking.
It was like that from the
anyway, because the book was dark as hell.
And there is not a problem. Nobody wants to read.
Marvel, just like Marvel has been diverse and they've been activists forever. They wrote this stuff, this racism and stuff into the goddamn comics. You have to be thick, just thick, not to see the commentary in the comics.
You have to be delusional.
But the thing is, white people.
But to think about
using critical thinking.
But even when they think about it, they see the same way they see themselves as Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and not the evil empire. They see themselves as Professor Xavier or Magneto because they were still white presenting characters, right? Even though Magneto was Jewish, they still like he's white though, and Storm is a secondary character, even though she's a Omega level mutant. They want us in the sidekick role,
I'm pissed.
What'd you say?
I said, excuse my language, I'm pissed.
It's okay. It's after dark for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's crazy. It's no matter what black woman, and I don't know, I forgot her name that fast. My little Rue, no matter what she plays, I was like, oh, that's Rue.
Amanda Sternberg.
Yeah, Amanda. Yeah. I don't know why people hate her. I don't understand it. But even with her doing the acolyte, it is the story of how things.
It is a story at a pivotal time of the empire. Yes,
right. I mean, and it's the first story. You're messing up Luke's and Anakin's timeline and his story. This has nothing to do.
Has nothing to do with them. It's hundreds of years before any of that stuff.
Right. True. Yeah,
nothing to do with them. But you want to link them together because you refuse to see a story and understand the backstory and appreciate this is the Force. This is how the Force was going. And I think it was somebody in this room that said it. It's like to look at it as Anakin was how did they put it? IVF and I forgot how y'all mentioned it.
Do you mean in vitro fertilization?
Yes, but how
Anakin came to be, because
how Anakin came to be and how the girls came to be. It was like it was two different ways. It was like
asexual reproduction. Yeah.
Almost, yeah. But yeah, as far as Star Wars goes, I'm actually on Fury's side with this one. I would like to see more stories in the Star Wars universe that are not Skywalker centric. Like
I'm so done with the Skywalkers.
Zero connection to anybody or anything in the Skywalker timeline.
I'm just sick of.
Yes, I love the Acolyte because it's the old Republic.
Yes,
transitioning into the Senate that we come to know by the first, episode 1 type thing.
What I also like so much about the Acolyte was that the Jedi were not squeaky clean. Jedi had issues and problems, and the Jedi was on some bullshit.
The Jedi always been on some bullshit.
And they basically spawned the
episodes 1, 2, and 3 show you that the Jedi on some bullshit. That's your first inkling into the Jedi kind of fuck, because they doing Anakin real dirty right now. Like, granted, Anakin had issues, but at the same time, the council ain't doing him no favors.
Nope.
So they don't like the whole thing. Oh, the Jedi. No, the Jedi is just
the Jedi committed a war crime, and that's why the Acolyte was after them.
Yeah, that was my show. Anything black and seeing the Little Mermaid. Oh my God, Disney! How can you do this? My daughter always loved the Little Mermaid. You mean
the movie still exists? You can
the cartoon. The fucking cartoon.
Hold up.
Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
I saw something recently. It was I think it was either a Facebook reel or IG reel, and it was a young Asian woman that said, this whole thing about gingers being black, we're done with that, because where were y'all at? Like, where was this energy when Haley
Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey was cast as Ariel in the live action Little Mermaid.
Right. Y'all had a fit.
Like, y'all were like, no, not my Little Mermaid. All y'all gingers was like losing your ish over a black woman being cast. Now all of a sudden y'all think y'all black. Like, no, no. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
We're gonna keep these lines in the sand. Thank you very much.
Right.
So what else are we watching?
Cookout invitations are still closed.
First of all, the cookout is canceled. Screw that. The cookout canceled. Ain't nobody invited.
No, the cookout is happening, but it's happening in a glass dome. I want y'all to see us having a ball, clacking our fans. Where them fans at? We're gonna be all up in there, and it'll be door sealed. It won't even be a way. There won't even be a door. We're gonna just teleport in because y'all didn't get y'all powers on December 22nd like we did. So we all got teleportation. You know, y'all didn't see Supercell. We've been trying to let y'all know we're gonna disappear on y'all all at once and be in a giant dome having a party with the best food ever, because it's gonna be Caribbean and soul food. This is gonna be jerk chicken and mac and cheese everywhere, and y'all can't have none. Just stand outside like Riddick in Sinners, hoping that we come out. Go pick Robin Clean somewhere, because you can't come in.
Right. Eating your little boiled gray chicken breasts.
Right, girl. One of my favorite things on TikTok is the lady that's like, y'all see this nonsense, and throw it against the wall and redo British food because their food is nasty. And then I saw this one dude who was like, if you know how to cook chicken breast and you know you don't need all those stupid dirt and everything on your chicken breast to make it good,
right,
you can't
dirt
cook
spices. If you have to put dirt spices on it, then you're doing it wrong. Okay, great chicken.
The entire internet, the entirety of the rest of the world, everyone with even a stroke of melanin, and that includes like Greece and Turkey and Spain, was like, fuck you mean? Food is better with dirt spices on it. Maybe if you hadn't destroyed the world's infrastructure so you could get those spices and you don't even use them
to do nothing with them.
I'm gonna say something real racist. Y'all ready?
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Okay. How is it that you can't go out in the sun? You can't handle spicy food. You don't know how to wash your body correctly, but
that
you a
part.
Superior race. Where that math at?
That part.
Where to do
but
that?
Yet
math.
You want to be dark because you go to tan. You want to have our type of hair, thinking that
you want our butt hair. And our hips.
You want our lips. You want our butts. You want our men, but you don't want the problems that come.
No.
Right.
They want a cosplay. Is back.
Right.
That's all right.
You still putting soap on your hand and washing to your waist and letting the shower water push it down the rest of the way. But you're superior.
That's why y'all smell like bologna.
Oh gosh. Okay, let's bring it back. Shows
I said
that
some terrible things on here. That's the end of the sentence.
Oh my gosh.
No, you said it nice, because it says fish. It ain't bologna. That's nasty fish that's been sitting out South Street Seaport for 28 days.
Oh my God. Okay. So what else have y'all been watching? Because
other shows we are watching.
So in summary, Ironheart is a good show, and we already know not to look at those reviews, but Ironheart is a good show, and I'm interested to see where it goes. And also, there's this phrase that I've been seeing.
Joy, before you continue, here's how I know Ironheart's a good show. When Kyle posts a positive review on his page,
y'all who don't know, Kyle is a friend of ours in our group chat, and he is diehard DC Universe, like delusional DC Universe, like Batman vs Superman wasn't a bad movie.
Marvel just cause.
Yeah, and he like Ironheart, like that's like old school Mikey. Give it to Mikey. He hates everything, but he like Ironheart. That's how good it is. Mm-hmm.
It's a good story. It's well acted. It's well produced. The soundtrack is banging. And
no, I do have a negative.
Oh God,
I do have a negative.
Are you racist too?
No, my negative is that I don't like the look of the bad guy. What's the Spanish dude? Like, to me, you look like a fake.
The cloak,
Harry Houdini.
What is it?
The hood.
The hood.
Yeah, your hair. I'm like, what? Do something with the hair. Why is your hair looking like that? That what they couldn't fix your hair so that it looked a little bit better? Why are you walking around with this cape? What the fuck are you? You Houdini? What the hell? Take that shit off. Just I didn't like
it's the source of his power, Simone.
I didn't like that look. Once you took the cape off and you showed his back, I was like, okay, this is my villain. The clothes that they had you in, that shit was stupid. I don't. Maybe I have to see more. I only saw episode 1.
Yes,
I have to see episode 2 and 3.
There's 3 more episodes left. Let it.
The hair bothers me.
The bob, you don't like the wavy bob.
I don't. I need you to.
What's funny is I was just about to say Anthony Ramos and grew up on me because when I first saw him, he was playing Mars Blackman in the remake of She's Gotta Have It, and he had acting like all over his face, and I was like, that boy is busted. Then I saw him in Hamilton. I was like, okay, the little baby done grew up. Now I'm seeing him like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. Yes, the wavy bob did take a moment for me to be like, can you pull that back in a ponytail or something?
That's not right. Just a ponytail. The ponytail would have been like, okay.
He has filled out because I remember when he wasn't that swole. He's definitely been working out. You know, I think Marvel puts everybody on a diet.
Oh yeah,
but it's interesting to see.
I think all the men, when they get cast for big Marvel roles, they immediately start working out
directly to the gym and do not pass go.
Yeah.
And let's not sleep on Riri because I was watching the belly chain with the abs. Like, okay, you know, she's doing some crunches too. You know, she got to fit in that suit. So
I do like the changes they've made with Riri from the comics because she is still like 15, 16 years old in the comics. She's not a young adult. She is still a teenager.
Yeah, and I think she's 19 now in this show.
Yeah,
she's like 19 or 20.
Oh, and the end. So again, only episode 1, but the end. I liked how how Tony Stark had Friday. Jarvis. She's got her friend.
Natalie.
Her girlfriend will be her Jarvis. It's like okay.
That looks like that's going to be a good relationship, like Jarvis and
how they talk to that's
we talking to each other.
Talking to each other. Only how girl. You know, only how we can. Girl,
hey bestie,
come on, girl. I need you, girl. Okay, so that girl knows that you need to knock this person out. Girl means that okay, I need you to shoot this bullet over here. You don't need to do all of that kind of thing. Okay.
You know what that reminds me of when Keke Palmer and somebody else was on like the $25,000 work.
Yes, that's right.
Everybody knew it was Titanic. Rose.
Oh, gosh.
I love having those conversations. I've done that with people, like just black people in the street. Like there was this kid cutting up in the airport, and I'm looking at him, and I look up and I see another black girl, and she looked at me, and I was like, and we both knew what that meant.
Yeah.
Never saw her again in life, but we both had that moment of, girl, you see this?
I had one of those moments at a Hawks game in the stands, and the those people just wilding out. This black man, he looked, and we made eye contact, and both of us just busted out laughing. No words need to be exchanged.
But
fellas, I hope you're paying attention to the insight you're getting right now. Pay attention.
And how we give compliments, you walk, ma'am. I know you didn't come out here looking all of what are you doing? I don't know this woman from Can of Paint, but yeah, we walking past each other.
Okay, boots. Yep,
exactly.
And it makes them pay. And it makes them pay.
So somebody in here saw something anime related a couple of weeks ago, in which a season 2 is going to drop in a couple of weeks. Teresa, you saw the early release of the first, 3 episodes of season 2 of Don to Don in theaters?
I did.
Tell us about it.
Yes.
Well, no spoilers, but
no spoilers. Hello.
No, because these are episodes. Spoilers. These are still episodes that are
yet. We're gonna still watch it. It's not like she's spoiling the whole season, but I mean, because it starts up with the fourth character in the
house. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Evil Eye.
I mean, I really enjoyed it. That's what I needed because, you know, anime, it just never had a draw to me before. And I didn't really, you know, just Japanese. I don't care about Only thing Japanese I like is some hibachi salmon. So, you know, it just didn't have the draw for me. I didn't understand the point. But what I needed was to know that there was anime that involved things that I like. I like monsters and ghosts and, you know, and superpowers and stuff. And give me anime that has monsters and ghosts, aliens, and people with superpowers.
Tailor made for you.
I will send you 3 titles after we get off air of paranormal stuff that you would definitely like.
Send me the titles because I'm really, really enjoying Don Da Don. I bought a Don Da Don t-shirt at MomoCon. The movie, you know, the premiere, whatever it was, I really enjoyed. Now I'm spoiled, you know, from seeing it on the big screen. I was like, this is awesome. You know, and can't wait for the rest of the season to come out. I really enjoyed it, and you know, I'm happy that I know more about anime, and I know that there are things that I'm going to like.
Absolutely.
Now, Apothecary Diaries, I love that girl, Mao Mao. Yeah, I adore her. Because she is just delightfully weird, and she is a nerd. She nerds out about her herbs and her, you know,
poisons.
Yes, her apothecary stuff. I just love how excited she gets about it. And the shows are like the TV shows that I like, where there's a mystery every episode that they have to solve, that she has to solve. I love it. And, you know, when I finished the episodes that are available on Netflix, because once again, not paying for Crunchyroll. You know, Netflix does this thing where it suggests, well, if you like Apothecary Diaries, try these. And the first thing on the list was My Happy Marriage.
My Happy Marriage.
And I went straight into it. The first episode, I was hooked. It is so scandalous. I love it. It's like a soap opera.
Yeah, it's like a historical Chinese. I think it's Chinese. It's a soap opera. Yeah.
Yes.
Like
I love it. Love it. And I think I may be almost
fighting for your man.
Right. Almost done with all the episodes that are on Netflix. So now I got to find something else to watch.
It'll recommend you. I don't know.
It'll recommend other stuff for you. I
the
will say,
Brilliant
what
Healer is on Netflix. I'm not sure.
What is it?
The Brilliant Healer.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The Brilliant Healer, New Life in the Shadows.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, yeah, it's not
paper.
Yeah, that's the one you're talking about. Brilliant Healers, New Life in the Shadows.
Yes, and he's a healer, and he brings all of these people together.
And
he's more than a healer for some reason. Lord knows. I guess we'll figure that out. And
you found out within the first 3 episodes why he's there.
The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know that he's more than a healer.
I just read the synopsis. Like, what? That took a turn. Even in the paragraph to describe it, I was like, wait, what? I'm gonna read this to y'all since some people might be watching. And y'all want to look it up. What it says, The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows is a fantasy story about Xenos, a self-taught healer from the slums who opens a secret clinic after being kicked out of an adventurer's party. Despite lacking formal education and qualifications, Xenos uses his unmatched magic to heal, comfort, and fight injustice, quietly becoming a legend. His reputation attracts the attention of the city's warring demi-human gang leaders, who also develop romantic feelings for him. I didn't see that coming.
Right.
Yeah, he
plot twist.
He brings. You've got three demigods,
demi-humans. Yeah, the lizard people, the werewolves, and the ogres.
And yes, and all of us, and they all fight each other, but yet, for some reason, how he talks to them, he's like, y'all can fight. You want to fight? Well, that's fine. I'm going to keep healing you. Y'all want to kill each other? go ahead and fight. But as they're fighting, he keeps healing them. So he's like, my job is to make sure that you're healed. I will let you fight because that's what you want to do, but I'm not going to let none of you die. The captain, he winds up saving her, the captain of the police guard or whatever. Everybody falls in love with him. They even got a fucking spirit. You said you like spirits, Teresa. They've got a wraith.
He comes to the house possessed by a ghost. And he's like, look, this is the only place I found to live. Like, he tells the ghost, like, this is the only place that I can live in right now because I ain't got no money. Just let us have the first floor and we won't go upstairs. She's like, how about I just possess you right now? And he's like, nah, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna just heal you. And she's like, the healing spells don't work on me until they start, like, parts of her body starts evaporating. And she's like, oh wait, what type of healing magic is this? Where you learn this from? This ain't natural. Get away from me.
Yeah, I'm adding this to my list right now.
Sorry for being late, but what show are you guys talking about right now?
The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows anime.
The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadow.
I also love how a lot of anime just be having the longest titles.
Right. Oh, here's one for you. I left my A-rank party to help my former students reach the dungeon depths.
Yeah, that's the title.
That's the title. Okay. That's the title. And it's almost done. I think it's 26 episodes. Episode 23 aired this week. That's one of the ones I'm currently watching. Which is exactly what the title says. This dude who is a red mage means that he has both combat skills and enhancement skills with some healing abilities. He's like a jack of all trades, if you will. And he was in the top rank adventuring party in the kingdom, and one day they was like, you ain't pulling your weight, we kicking you out. The hell you mean you kicking me out? First of all, y'all don't pay me enough. and secondly, I do more than what y'all even realize. Like, nah, we don't want to hear it. We pay you less because you don't do as much as we do, so we kicking you out. You got to go. He's like, all right, deuces, I'm out. Give me what you owe me and I'm gonna leave. So gets his money, leaves, figures out what to do, and then 3 young ladies who he trained because he used to be a teacher at the Academy for New Adventures. And 3 of his former students have formed a party. And they're like, hey, we need somebody to help us navigate because we all finally graduated and we're about to go on our first dungeon run or whatever like that. All right, cool. I'll help y'all. And he links up with them and they just build a legend of their own. And his former party realizes maybe we shouldn't have kicked that dude out because we're struggling right now.
I'm gonna add that to my list, but I had to stop and look down real quick because how hot is it in Atlanta?
Oh, yeah, it's like 90 what?
It's 96. It was a high of 96 today.
Yes, it was.
And it is still 87 degrees where I am right now. My AC won't turn off, and I'm like, I have it set on 77. Which is hot. You see, I'm shining. This is not healthy, like Korean skincare glow. This is sweat. And I'm like, why is this so hot? Oh, the fan is going. Ugh.
Because the bricks are so hot. It takes a while before, after even the sun goes down.
By the time they cool down, sunrise will warm them right back up.
Yep. And everybody, oh, so cold. And when I turn the fucking AC down, and you, oh, so cold. I was like, okay.
For all you sycophants who like summer, go outside.
I miss April where I could just open the door and turn the fan on and catch a breeze. Because I opened the door earlier to water my plant outside. My plant was wilted outside because it looked like it was getting cooked in the sun. But when I opened the door, a blast of like T2 level. I mean, you know that scene from Terminator 2 where she's holding on to the fence and just turns into ashes. This is what it felt like when I walked outside.
The nuclear shockwave. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Furious, we were talking about what we're watching right now, and you've heard us talk a little bit about everything. What are you watching?
So I'm currently the only new thing. So I'm almost done with my rewatch of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. This rewatch and again, this isn't anything new, but I did watch the first episode of Ironheart last night. And I've got a couple of theories based on some things that I've seen, but I don't know if I want to say it just yet because it's just the first episode. Well, no, it's you know how we always try to not talk about things too soon after it first airs.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much for people that may be watching, or if any of you guys haven't even seen the first episode yet.
We've all seen that.
We've all seen at least the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'll say this. I don't think Hood is the leader of the gang. I think the leader of the gang is the dude who pays for Riri's parts at the counter. That's who I think is the real ringleader of the gang.
Yeah, keep watching.
I know. That's what. Again, that's what I was like. It's early. I've only seen the first episode. With my rewatch of Deep Space Nine, I don't remember if I said it here or on another show. When Deep Space Nine was on, you know, there was no let me rewind the DVR. So certain episodes I missed.
Yeah.
And I'm just doing a rewatch now, letting it play in the background while I'm at work and if I'm home, and making sure I look up when I look, oh, wait a minute, that sounds important. Let me back up a little bit. This solidifies my belief that Benjamin Sisko is the greatest captain in Star Trek history.
Yeah.
I wavered a little bit between him and Burnham from Discovery. This rewatch solidifies it that Sisko is the greatest captain. Like I know a lot of people always talk about Kirk versus Picard. I never really cared for the original series, so the hell with Kirk. I like Picard, but no, it's Sisko.
Yeah, but I don't have no love for Picard neither. As a matter of fact, I didn't watch his solo show Picard, but the first couple of episodes, I didn't watch all of it. But when I watched the first season, and I actually liked when he was going around to his old like contacts and everything. They were like, "Man, fuck you." That was the funniest part of everything to me.
Yeah,
you were not beloved, delusional jerk.
The one thing I'll say about Deep Space Nine is, so it's 7 seasons. I'm on season 5, episode 24 or 25. So it's only one more episode left in this season.
That's a lot.
They still only have one Defiant.
Look, damn it. I have gone over this with you multiple times. You know why there's only one damn ship.
I know why, but still, I'm watching this show. They've got one battleship to protect Deep Space Nine and the wormhole and that quadrant. I'm like, really? Y'all really
and
not?
Space station has armaments too.
Right, but it's one ship.
Okay.
And I'm just like, they really did that man a disservice by not getting him more ships.
Well, it's one actual start, you know.
I know,
ship,
but
it's also 2 runabouts. They still have the 2 runabouts.
Ooh, shuttles.
Right? Dinghies.
Right? Yeah, that's gonna do a whole lot.
From a cruise ship. Like, really, what
the
you about
political nature of the environment of what's going on in Deep Space Nine, you know why there can't be a heavy Starfleet.
I get all of that. However, the man needs more than one ship.
Okay, then the Bajoran people should have provided him with ships. They didn't do that.
Why are you mad?
They just got out of the occupation from the Kardashians. They ain't got shit.
Okay, then. And that's what's
over here angry with you for saying this. Like,
right?
But he knows this. That's why I'm mad at him.
Let him have his opinion.
Why are you upset that I want a black man to have multiple ships to protect his area of space?
Because
why does that bother you?
You know why he doesn't. That's why I'm mad at you for being mad at him.
I know why he doesn't, and it's a stupid reason. But that's what I'm watching right now is the rewatch of Deep Space Nine. When I'm done with it, I will either move on to the one show that you guys just talked about, The Brilliant Healer in the Shadows, and I'm going to move to Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Because what I'm doing is I'm bouncing back and forth between a new show and an old show that I never really finished so that I can kind of get caught up on some things.
Cool.
Is Monarch on that list?
Monarch is on that list. Because actually what I want to do is I want to do a rewatch of all the Godzilla movies and Monarch and figure out where everything fits in together.
Oh, that you'll love it. You'll love it. You'll love it because I got confused after I saw Monarch. I'm like, okay, so that means that it should be Godzilla X Khan. it should have been that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I say. I'm gonna do a little. Yeah. So I say I'm gonna do a little bit of Googling to figure out what's the best watch order, and I'll watch it in that order. Yeah. Have you guys discussed Ballerina yet?
Yep.
Yeah, but we'll listen to you. What was your take on it?
I loved Ballerina. I give it a perfect 10 out of 10. I've got 2 theories that I want to throw out.
Okay.
One, since we think John Wick is now dead after the last movie, we don't really know, but they're kind of leading you in the direction of thinking he's dead. What if the Ballerina now becomes the focal point for the John Wick franchise, at least for maybe, another 3 movies or so?
Yeah,
that's what I think. That they're going to do a Ballerina 1, 2, and 3, maybe.
Yeah.
And because they've already set her origin story in the environment of the 3rd John Wick movie, he can keep coming back, not as a fighter, but as a mentor or advice, or how when you play in a video game and you got to call in the cavalry to help you out, like he'll be that, shooting somebody from the boat. That's
all her exploits take place between the 3rd and 4th John Wick films.
And they could do several movies in between those, because if you're out there taking contracts every 6 months, you might have to do something that would give them years of stuff before John Wick actually dies. And if they really play their cards right, maybe he's not really dead, and she's the one that helps him fake his death.
That part. The other theory that I have is, what if that little girl is Halle Berry's character's daughter? Because did anybody notice just how brown that little girl was?
I mean, we knew that Norman Reedus was down with the swirl, clearly.
Right. But and remember how she always talked about, I don't want to know where my daughter is, because then I may go look for her. And she talks about you don't understand what I had to give up to get out. What if that's her daughter?
Ooh. Interesting.
And again, I'm only throwing it out mostly because of how brown she is.
Because they really didn't have any reason to make her brown.
Right. If she wasn't as brown as she is, I wouldn't think about it. But there's something about her being as brown as she is that I was like, what if that's Halle Berry's daughter?
Because clearly her mama black. Like, we all agree with that.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. And there's no reason to introduce that. Because people talk about movies being woke, but not really. They're not really woke, and they wouldn't have done that unless there was a reason.
Berry's in the 3rd film.
They're not that woke.
And Halle Berry's in the 3rd film.
And we don't know how old the little girl is, so there's a lot of wiggle room to play with.
Yep.
And they did put her into where? The Russian school? Where
we don't. She doesn't know where she is.
No, the little girl.
Yes, the little girl as of right now.
She gets reunited with her father, because Norman Reedus doesn't die.
That's right. He doesn't die.
He's in the hospital, right?
Yeah.
There's a hospital set up privately for him.
Yeah.
So she's taken back to him.
It's an awesome theory, Furious. I like it.
Thank
you know what? I want to talk about real quick. I saw today in the movie theater, since we talked about space a little while ago, Elio, which is a new Pixar movie.
Yeah, my husband's
really, really cute. Has anybody else seen it?
Not yet, but it's on the list.
It was really cute.
It was cute.
Disney/Pixar, especially more on the Pixar side, is doing a really good job of dealing with complex emotional situations for kids to be able to understand, or even for parents to be able to understand why their kid might be acting the way they do. In and Out comes to mind. Seeing Red comes to mind.
Yep.
And Elio is, oh my God, it deals with grief, loss, imagination, misunderstandings, blended families. Like, it's a lot going on in that movie. And I thought it was really good.
In the beginning, I was like, boy, Disney just can't stand no live parents.
Disney will kill your parents, man, like Game of Thrones.
Yep, get ready to say it.
Adults are fair game with Disney.
Yeah.
So basically, Batman will fit in perfectly.
Pretty much.
Don't give them no ideas. They already own Marvel.
I wouldn't be surprised if considering that new dude who's running the Discovery Warner Brothers faction I wouldn't be surprised if he puts DC Comics up on the shopping block.
Mm.
We can't have those in the same house, though.
Nah, this is too weird. And I do not want to.
Got to create a monopoly.
Right. I do not want a Superman Thor crossover. Nobody asked that.
Did y'all
already has been one?
I want a Thor Batwoman crossover. I'm sorry, not Batwoman. Thor and Wonder Woman.
Thor and Wonder Woman would be cool.
Yeah, that's what I want. Thor.
She
and
would
Wonder
whoop
Woman.
his ass. I love it.
I don't know because they both have thousands of years of battle experience.
But Thor is a gym bro. He'll underestimate her and get his ass kicked.
That's a good point. You're probably right. You're probably
also,
right.
Thor skips leg day.
Yeah.
He's not a god, even though he thinks he is.
Mm-hmm.
Thor definitely skips leg day.
Hilarious.
But what else are we watching? Anybody else want to throw something out there?
I forgot ready to say something and I forgot.
Yeah, but the movie's not
we
a
talked
character.
about My Happy Marriage and Apothecary Diaries.
Two things that did end this week for me that I was watching. Windbreaker season 2 ended actually last week. So there will be a third season. So for anybody who loves high school kids fighting for whatever reason, insert here. You will get a third season. Season two was cute. That's probably the best way I could put it because they introduced some themes and some characters that you would not expect from this collection of personalities in pretty much what is an all-male setting.
I don't know what Windbreaker is.
It's on Crunchyroll. It's It's a high school anime about these kids.
Never mind. No wonder. Crunchyroll was all you had to say.
Crunchyroll, okay.
So Teresa, all my anime is on Crunchyroll for the most part.
Some of it is also on Netflix. Like Don comes on Netflix, Apothecary Diaries, etc. You know what I'm watching? I know this is not in any of the genres we're talking about, but I think y'all would like it. It is a K-drama, but it is not a rom-com type nonsense. This is a revenge arc, murder mystery, whodunit type. And the name of it is called Mercy for None. I watched the first episode, and several times I was like, "Oh God, you could just kill him. You ain't had to do all that." Like it's the violence is necessary, but not overly done. Like it's not just gruesome to be gruesome, but somebody like step on somebody's leg and you see it break, that kind of thing. And the killing thing is the main character. He's trying to figure out who killed his brother, who dies in the first episode. The main character, somebody, because I haven't gotten far enough to know why they did it, but somebody cut his Achilles heel a long time ago.
Ooh.
And that was the punishment for whatever. And then he had to like get out the life. Kind of like John Wick, right? Yes, get very much like John Wick. He had to get out the life. They cut his Achilles tendon and let him go live in the woods. Then he finds out his brother died. So he limps back into town. When I tell you he whooped the whole disco's ass with a limp, I was like, how are y'all letting this dude limp after y'all like Jason in a scary movie? And why is he beating all of y'all to death? And it's not even like flashy fights. Somebody tried to punch him. He just grabbed their fist, turned, push him over. And he throws haymakers. He throws like wham, and they go flying. I love it. It's really fun to watch if you like, good fight scenes. And then there's also some strong like mystery and intrigue and stuff going on in it too. Yeah, it's called Mercy for None, and it's on Netflix.
Just found it. Interesting. I'm gonna add it to the list and I will watch it. IMDb rating 7.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 100%, which clearly the fans love this show more than the critics.
Right, the critics be on some nonsense.
Right,
the fans be on some nonsense too.
Sometimes depends on if they're fans or anti-fans.
While you're watching this, I've seen Lilo and Stitch twice and How to Train Your Dragon.
I have not seen the new How to Train Your Dragon. Was it good?
It was good. It was very good.
Does this new Lilo and Stitch do a good job of bringing the animated movie to live action? Because I don't want to compare the two to say which one is better. Just does it do a good job bringing the story to live action?
I can't even really answer that. Because it's gonna depend. Like, if you're a purist with the movie, if you just really love the movie and everything about the movie, you might not be able to get into the live action adaptation, because they did change some elements of the story. But like, what I don't like with animation is like when they change voice actors. I don't deal well with change. So if you don't sound like you're supposed to, then that's gonna bother me.
Yeah.
Now, Jumba and Pleakley don't sound right in the movie. And that bothers me through the whole thing. More so Jumba than Pleakley, because it is just completely different.
Okay.
Completely. And that, like I said, that did bother me throughout the whole thing. Lilo is adorable. That little girl is going places. Stitch has the same voice actor from the animated movie, so no problem there. And Annie's cute. People were upset about Nani because she wasn't thick like she was in the animated movie, but I didn't have a problem with that. Now, there's a big element of the story that you may or may not be able to get with, as far as what happens with the family dynamic at the end. But I think you have to remember, Nani is only 19, and that's one thing in a cartoon. It can be more reasonable, to
more fantastical. Yeah.
That this 19-year-old is taking care of her 6-year-old little sister. In real life, that's a little bit more far-fetched, and they adapted the story to kind of explain that. I didn't have a problem with it, but I have seen some outcry about the way they changed it. Overall, though, like I said, I saw it twice. I enjoyed it, except for Jumba. I wanted to punch him and make him sound right. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Well, good. That's why I've gotten away from saying, is a movie good or bad? My question is always, did you enjoy it?
Right. And
because good and bad are going to be subjective.
I think I expect a whole lot less from movies than other people do, because I just want to be entertained.
Yeah.
And I was most definitely entertained. Gosh, there was something else I was going to say. Oh, and I cried both times. So knew it was coming. So it wasn't a surprise, and just bawled like a baby at the end.
So they did their job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody got their tickets for the Fantastic Four or Superman?
But
No.
Prime had tickets. Discount. Early showing tickets. If you have Amazon Prime.
Yeah, you can buy the tickets early. But since I have A-list, I don't buy tickets. So I was not, I had already reserved my tickets through A-list. So I was not paying for tickets for Fandango, even though it was, a day before other people. So
I love that A-list. I'm like, 3 free movies a week. Oh, it's wonderful.
It's 4 now.
Oh, it's 4. Ooh.
It's 4 now. With that last price increase.
Yeah.
They said we better cut them, we better throw them a bone. So it's now 4.
But you know what? My biggest complaint about a lot of services is when they increase the price and I get nothing for that price increase.
That part.
If you increase the price and you gave me an extra free movie a week, I got no problem.
Yeah, but they still, they increase the price, and yes, you can do 4 reservations at a time now, but they still snuck some other restrictions in there on you that I don't like.
Okay.
Figured as much. The other thing that I saw that ended this week was the Gorilla God's Go-To Girl.
I heard that was interesting. Is it good?
Yes, it is. Because basically the premise is young people, when they hit their 16th birthday or whatever, they get blessed by an animal god. And our protagonist gets blessed by the Gorilla God. She wants to keep it secret because she's trying to keep her head down and finish matriculating through school. She's already been the target of the mean girls in her class. they don't know that she's been blessed by the gorilla god. But when the higher ups of the school find out, they're like, oh, gorilla god? Yeah, we send you to training for the Royal Knights. And that pretty much starts all the shenanigans, because she meets up with a guy that she falls head over heels in love with. Her 2 classmates start crushing on her. Some of the other instructors start crushing on her as well. So basically, she's got a harem of men after her through all of the things that are going on. But it still shows her like trying to deal with navigating her new abilities, if you will, and still trying to initially trying to keep her head down and not stand out too much, but learning that her abilities can benefit everyone, because she does have a big heart. She likes helping people. So, and she does. What's it called again? The Gorilla God's Go-To Girl.
And it's on Crunchyroll.
It is on Crunchyroll. Again, if I suggest something, it's going to be on Crunchyroll, because that is my go-to for watching anime.
Does Crunchyroll have any kind of social feature? Like, if I subscribe to Crunchyroll, can I add you as a Crunchyroll friend and watch and see the things you've watched?
No idea.
I mean, you can have an account on some, I can create a separate account for you on my profile, and you can watch whatever you want. You won't be able to see what I'm watching.
No, that's not what he's asking. He has his own profile. He was saying I can see what games you played on PlayStation.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
No, they don't have that.
Nah, they don't have that feature.
Okay.
Oh my God, Furious! And even if they did, you'd be sitting there for days scrolling. You
don't want to see my list. Again, as I said on our last show, I talked to my cousin's son, who pretty much has read at least half the manga for the anime I've watched over the last 2 years. He hasn't seen any of these things. He's just read the manga. Or at least half of what I've watched over the last 2 years. So talking to him about what I've seen, he tells me what's happening in the manga as far as the differences and whatnot. And so I told him, I was like, my list is long. He was like, how many animes on your list? I was like, what's 46 times 5? It's like 230. I was like, yeah, that's right. And that's in Crunchyroll alone. 230 anime in Crunchyroll alone. We haven't even talked about Hulu, Netflix, or High Dive yet.
Wait, what's High Dive?
I was about to say, what the hell is High Dive?
High Dive is another anime subscription service like Hulu. Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll. Okay.
The reason I have High Dive is because one of my favorite anime, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, only has the first 3 seasons on Crunchyroll. Seasons 4 and 5, High Dive snuck in, undercut Crunchyroll, and took them. And they're not anywhere else. It's not on Hulu. It's not on Netflix.
Okay.
So High Dive is where I go for the stuff that Crunchyroll drops the ball on, or sometimes some things that they get some new stuff as well that doesn't hit Crunchyroll. So between those two, that's where all my anime watching is. Though High Dive does get more adult-themed anime titles. Not hentai, but just more adult topic matter type stuff than Crunchyroll.
Okay. I wanted to look at something because we were talking about Fantastic Four. There was a video that I think, James, you put it in our chat around what the popcorn bucket looks like.
Yep.
Do you have that queued up at all? Can you show that?
I only put it in the group because I figured it was funny. I didn't think it was show appropriate.
It's real. And it's not what you think. Because I went looking, because I wanted to see if it was real before I said anything. And what you really are seeing,
it's real.
If you hold it from the other end, you realize that is his arm wrapping around the bucket.
Right.
But the angle that somebody took the picture, it don't look like that.
Okay. Reed Richards' arm wrapping around the.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Hold on. Let me get this. All right, can everybody see this?
What the Fantastic Four is going to look like?
Whoa!
Who in Marvel Studios? Who signed off on this? Who the fuck made this freaked out ass bucket?
Now this one has been CG'd a little bit.
What is this? And I was looking in the comment section, and they were saying stuff like fantastic. Like I hope, and of course, this is not gonna be real. It can't be real, because if it is, I don't know what to say. Whoever created this or whoever edited this did a really good job. But if this, for some reason, some odd reason, this is real, I don't even know what I would do. At the end of the day, I'm obviously still very excited to see this movie, but I'm gonna be very vigilant on who I'm sitting by that got this popcorn bucket.
All right, that's enough.
They've been releasing new.
So I went to look for it to figure out why is this even a thing? And this is, let's see if I can show it up close. This is what it really looks like. It's his arm coming around.
Send the image in the chat. Joyce, send it in the chat. I'll post it.
Okay.
But yeah, I figured that was CGI, because I'm like, this can't be real. This can't be right. But yeah, someone had too much time on their hands, and
way too much time. And what they did was they probably just, there's that feature that you can do even on the iPhone. It says clean up, and it'll like erase, it'll erase wrinkles off your face and erase a little line. They probably erased the line that you could see that was not connected to him right there.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what it actually looks like.
And so that's not bad at all.
So
but
you can see his arm there going around.
Right. But if you look at it from the other side and you blur out that connection, it does look, it could look crazy depending on how you look at it. But the popcorn bucket is real. I don't know who's paying $85 for it. See,
so
and there you have it. That's what he
doctored. Yes.
I have a feeling, but that can't be the in theater price.
No, somebody's just selling this on the internet. Yeah.
Someone's trying to make some money. That's all.
Right. It's probably $30 at the theater though, because they will get their money off of you.
Right.
Have we covered everything that everybody is watching? Because if not, if so, I have one last thing.
Go ahead.
So this is a really cute movie, and it's on Netflix, and it's called K-pop Demon Slayers. K-pop Demon Hunters. Matter of fact, I changed my name to Huntrix down here because that's the name of the girls group in the show. And what they've done is actually pretty clever. So there are generations in K-pop music. You got your first gen, which is probably in the 80s and 90s. You got second gen. Third gen is BTS. So everybody knows who BTS is. So they were third generation K-pop stars. We're now in the fourth generation. Stray Kids is who I stand. And so they're fourth generation stars, and fifth is probably going to start in a few years anyway. What they've done with this movie is they've implied that every generation there are voices, women with these special voices that can keep the realm between demons and humans separate.
Ooh.
And they have to sing their way to maintain this barrier, right? But if they get enough fans and sing loud enough and get enough people connected around the world, they'll turn the barrier golden, which means it'll last forever. So every generation they get a little bit closer to the golden honeymoon, which is what they're trying to do. The demons figure this out, and they send up some counteractive people, and that's a boy group called Saja, which I think means lion or something. But so they go back and forth. Now here's the thing: the soundtrack is fire. The soundtrack is nothing but bangers. Because they sing some of it naturally because it's about K-pop. But the way they blended it into K-pop stars having to protect the world, and a lot of tropes around like K-pop idols and whatnot. Like one is called abs, one is called baby, one is called face, stuff like that. It's really cute. It's a cute movie. It's only an hour and 45 minutes, which you ain't gonna get in the theaters no time soon. But if you're bored on a Saturday, it's a good look.
And
I just watched it on a whim, and it was so good.
Mm-hmm.
What is it on, Joy?
It's on Netflix.
Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every time y'all bring up something new, I go to a Google search to go find it.
K-pop Demon Slayers.
This is why I need one of these services to institute a social aspect so you can see what your friends are watching.
Mm-hmm.
We should not, in 2025, we should not all be keeping individual lists. of these shows.
We could start a list. Like me and my friends have a note that we share on iPhone. Just the note is just called K-dramas that we watching, and we take stuff off when we watched it and put stuff on all the time. So we could create something like that. I feel like Netflix is like, go outside and talk to your friends. Why do we need to tell you? What would we have to talk about if we already knew what everybody was watching? We have to convince people, sell our ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, probably
so I got something, guys. But this is on TikTok. I don't know if you guys see those little stupid stories when they come through, like I don't know, little tiny stories that happen, and you get caught watching. It's like, okay, what happens?
Well, you got one person playing multiple characters in somebody's life story,
or like playing with dolls,
or it's like the mini
those little mini episodes. I got hooked. I got hooked and actually downloaded. It's called Pocket FM.
Oh, those. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm got hooked on that, and now I'm listening to all these damn series. You get so many series, so many episodes for free. And if you want to purchase some, you can. But I'm like I'm just listening now to Saving Nora. I was hooked on The Billionaire's Accidental Bride and The Duke's Mass Bride. Those are the three that I'm listening to.
Wait, The Billionaire's Accidental Bride.
I have seen commercials for these on Facebook before.
Yes.
And they would give you like a little bit of it, and I'd be like, I'm not about to know.
Yeah.
They do get you invested real quick.
But I find them, I jump to YouTube and I try and find all of the episodes and watch them. Sometimes you can find all of them.
Yeah.
Especially with the Chinese ones. I try and find those, but
how expensive is the service?
It's free.
Well, I'm sorry. You mentioned you can buy.
Well, you can buy coins. It depends on how many coins you want.
Gotcha.
Because some of the episodes are, if it's like it's going to be available in 7 hours, it'll be 1 coin.
Gotcha.
And the episodes are like 8 to 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I mean, it gets you hooked, and I have to keep track because
because they almost got me a few times because I get invested in one, and Facebook would keep popping the ad up for it until the final part, and it would never give you the final part. So
yeah, you have
the story is.
And that's why I go search on YouTube, and I'm like,
I'm glad you told me they on YouTube, because that was one I was watching, and it was like some girl, she was engaged to some dude, and he thought she was poor. Turned to come to find out she was like super rich. And then she was trying to give a diamond to somebody. It was a mess. And it was at a wedding. And I got all through all of that. And then they just cut it off. I was like, I hate y'all.
and that's why I don't get invested, because I'm like, oh, that's right. I'm not going to get the final part. Let me not get invested, because you ain't going to get me.
Oh, there is no final part. And I'm scrolling down. I'm on episode The Billionaire's Bride. I'm on episode 300 and 600. I think I know what happened here. 607.
They're all like 30 seconds long. Yeah.
And they forever. These, I mean, it goes from one issue to another issue to another issue.
Right.
It's almost like that chick who got what was the lady's story on YouTube?
Who did I marry?
Thank you. Yeah.
Wait, what?
On TikTok.
Y'all don't remember the who I married from TikTok, the black lady that she didn't know. Like, she didn't really know who the guy was she was about to marry.
Yeah.
No.
I'll find the link and I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
Oh, that's like what's that stupid television show? It was like, I'll marry you. We don't even know each other. Just
married at first sight.
Yeah, married at first sight. Yeah. To me, that was like that. That was I'm hooked on it. And those, if you happen to look at those episodes, you'll see, because they go from, you'll have the people actually doing the acting, and then after that there's no more acting, it's just voice acting.
Oh, okay.
So
hence
that's
the FM. Okay,
gotcha. Cool. All right, anybody else want to drop anything before we get out of here for the night?
Okay, I think I'm gonna go watch the Demon Slayer. I know I'm not supposed to be doing something. Just shut up.
Watch it.
God, I know. I'll get to your shows. You started me, and now I'm branching off to. I'm flying.
You
I'm
might
not flying too close to the sun. I'm not flying.
Boy, I need some more recommendations.
Trigun.
Joy.
Stuff on Netflix.
No, Teresa's not going to watch Trigun. That's not her steez.
No, I'm gonna think about some stuff that's in that same band of like Apothecary Diaries and Don, like stuff that. Ooh, I got a couple of ideas. And I'll put them in the chat. My first thought is Sword Art Online. It's the first season because I fell in love with it. Oh, there were a couple moments that I was like, oh, it was so good. Sword Art Online. It's like 4 or 5 years old at this point. Sword Art Online, named after the video game.
Okay.
It's what do you call it? It's the kind where everybody's playing a game, then they realize they're stuck in there for real, and they can't get out until somebody beats the game, and it goes through like their life. But it's so a little bit Dungeons and Dragons. You got your mages and your knights and everything, but there's also a love story in it, which is really cool.
Gotcha.
But just season 1, because after that they start doing other stuff, and you don't need to see that. But season 1 is good.
And I have to dig up the other 3 titles that I'm thinking of. I have to find them first because I need to make sure they're not only on Crunchyroll, Teresa, but they are paranormal stuff that you would definitely like. So I will make sure they're not on Crunchyroll.
See what Netflix I've done, because I've watched stuff that I've forgotten I've seen, So I got you.
I will plug 3 other shows. These are all on Crunchyroll. Fire Force, the first half of the final season ends this week. Episode 13 will drop. That would be the end of the first half of the final season. My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Look, if you love My Hero Academia, this show still holds and hits all the same beats. It's got its own separate storyline set way before the events of Class 1A. Very good, very heartwarming. It's got some touchy moments in it. And
I like My Hero. This is before Deku ever gets his powers. Is All Might in it?
All Might does make like 1 or 2 appearances, but he's not the focal point.
Okay.
And as Simone and
so
I
this
were
is like Andor or
yes,
or what was it? Zero Wing One? What was it called? The movie right before
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And as Simone and I were talking about before we went on air, Link Click is a very good anime series. It is not Japanese, I believe, but it is Korean by default because Crunchyroll does not have subtitles for it. You can only watch it in English dub. So,
okay,
I push aside
I like
my little
English dub anyway.
I push aside my little gripes about not having it subtitled and just watched it with the English dub.
I want to see the people. I don't want to sit there and continue to read. I want to
see the people and read.
I got books if I want to read.
That's why I have Audible.
I got
so
books.
Is this on Crunchyroll or Amazon?
Crunchyroll. Link Click is on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
But yeah, those 3 shows I'm going to plug.
You must be on Crunchyroll's payroll.
Crunchyroll gets all the good stuff, mostly.
Well, I mean, now that Funimation is gone, they have to.
Yeah.
Well, that's where High Dive comes in.
Ah, okay.
That's where High Dive. So again, like you said, is it wrong to pick up Girls in a Dungeon? When High Dive started, they snagged season 4 of that show, and that is one of my favorite anime. So Crunchyroll did on their webpage, did all the advertisement for season 4 coming out and releasing and the start date and everything. And when the start date hit and I went on Crunchyroll to look for it, I'm like, where the hell is it? Do a deep dive on the internets, and they're like, yeah, Crunchyroll didn't get this.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, so where can I watch season 4? Because I need to figure out how my boy Bell is going to go through life in this town with his dungeoning group and whatnot, and deal with his day-to-day shenanigans. And they're like, oh, you got to get to High Dive because they're the ones that scooped it up. Son of a biscuit. But High Dive is cheaper than Crunchyroll. So
what you saying? The last episode just reminded me of Black Clover. When is that one coming out?
Yeah.
Black Clover is, I think they said 2026 is when they're going to resume.
Okay. Because I saw them all. The movie, so they had 2 movies. That I saw all the episodes.
What is it? 266 episodes.
I saw all of those.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good. I
Crunchyroll
I like Black Clover.
Oh no, that's on Netflix, T. But I don't think you like that because they scream. One of the guys is
the main character Asta screams all the time.
His own voice, his only mode is outside voice. What's funny is my favorite character is the Marilyn Manson looking one that you can't never hear what he's saying. He's always
like, what the hell is this dude saying?
They actually have to subtitle it, even if it's in English, because you don't know what he's like. And it'll be like, I think we should all go together. And then they leave him because they didn't hear him. They treat him so bad.
They know he there. They just think something's wrong with him because one, he don't never talk. And then when he finally does talk, they're like, oh my gosh, he can speak.
Well, his magic is curse based, so he don't talk a lot because he might accidentally curse somebody.
So, but yeah. All right.
Anyway, yeah. We're hitting at like 141. So
I know. I'm gonna shut it down so we can get on out of here.
Okay.
Anybody have anything else to say before we go?
If she's already in the dungeon, you already have some of the questions answered that you may want to know.
Wait, what?
If she's, what's the name of the show? Is it wrong?
Is it wrong to pick up dungeon, pick up girls?
Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
If she's in the dungeon already.
No, because the title is not a descriptor of the show.
Oh, okay.
That's one of those long time. That's the rare occurrence where the title is not an actual description of the show.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Again, I said rare occurrence. Almost every other anime with a super long title, like That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, is literally about that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
I'm just saying, but this one specifically, that's a shame.
But yes, is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? That is not the premise of the show.
Oh, well, okay. It should be. It should be. I'm just saying.
Anyway, say goodnight, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf if they won't tell, and we will. If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then, when they annexed Hawaii and called it cedar lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves a republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe. As a part of their ongoing war with Asia, used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf if we won't tell, and we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf if we won't tell, and we will. We will. So if you put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course, versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course, cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom, clapped back at the system. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe. As a part of their ongoing war with Asia, used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. Network out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves, can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves, can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves, can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves, can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.